PFL Europe 1. These are going to be my full card predictions and breakdown. This one taking place in Belfast, and this is the first Europe card of the year. We got a couple tournament fights on this one taking place in the lightweight division, and I'm excited to give you guys my breakdown for each and every one. And I know what you guys are wondering. You're like, yo, where's this guy's bandana? I lost it, all right? I needed to address the elephant in the room because I know you guys were looking, saying, where's the bandana? Well, it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. It walked off or something. But I'm excited for this card. There's not any crazy fights on this card. There's a lot of one-sided matchups, I would say. But I'm excited to break it down, so let's get into the first fight of the night. So first fight of the night, we got McLaughlin versus Wedi. And I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this these two fighters. You're like, all right, one's 0-1, one's making his pro debut. Yes, this is kind of two unknowns, but they both had decent amateur records. Wedi, he went 11-3 as an amateur. So he does have some experience. McLaughlin, he went, what did he go as an amateur? I mean, I guess we got to count because it's not telling me. So he went 8-2 as an amateur, and he's 0-1 as a professional. And in this fight, McLaughlin, he likes the striking. He's got decent pop on his punches. He likes throwing his straight right. And he does get reckless at times, where leads him to sometimes get taken down. In his last fight, he was able to get controlled on the ground. He ended up losing to Mario Di Tofano by split decision. So he was in that fight. He was pretty close. But McLaughlin, what I worry about him is his ground game. And I think that's where he's lacking the most. His striking's not bad, and I see these two being close on the feet. But then on the other side, we got Wedi, who is also very solid on the feet. He's got decent boxing. He throws decent straight punches. He likes throwing some counter shots in there. But I think in this fight, the factor that's going to play out is Wedi is going to be able to get this fight to the ground. So I'm going to go Wedi to get the win by, I'll say, a decision. I just think McLaughlin, his ground game's not developed enough yet, and he needs work. Wedi, he is training out of SBG Ireland, so he is the favorite in this matchup. Wedi is sitting at the minus 260, and McLaughlin, he's sitting at the plus 175. And in this one, I do see Wedi being able to get the win. I think he's going to be able to get this fight to the ground and take control of McLaughlin. I don't think McLaughlin is developed enough yet. Yes, I know both of these guys aren't developed, so both of these guys are still working their game. But I think Wedi's going to be able to get his professional debut and win this fight. So I'm going Wedi to get this win. Next fight of the night, we got Auld versus Sammy Jo Luxton. And Sammy Jo Luxton, if you didn't know, she's a former OnlyFans model. So maybe you guys have seen her in the past. I know some of you guys be doing your thing over there on OnlyFans. But in this fight, Auld is 1-0 versus Sammy Jo Luxton 2-0. Gemma, she won her last fight by ground and pound. She was able to get her opponent to the ground. But in her last fight, her opponent was making her professional debut as well. And Sammy Jo Luxton, yes, she's 2-0, but the two people she fought, if we look, we got one of them. We got Jody 0-1, hasn't fought since the loss to Jo Luxton. Then we got this girl, Agata Traskolaska, who's now 0-6 and has been flagged to be maybe taking dives in their fights, potentially. I don't know, but she's been flagged. And Sammy Jo Luxton, in this fight, I do see her being able to get the win. I know she's 2-0, and a lot of people are just picking her because she's probably just the most favorite. Oh, she's 2-0. She's got 2 first-round finishes. But those, I don't even count those wins, really. Like, I guess they count, but it's to 2 absolute salami cans. But in this fight, I see her being able to beat Auld. I think she's going to be able to touch up Gemma on the feet. I think she's the better striker between the two. Gemma, I would say her striking is where she's worst in her game. She doesn't have anything impressive going on the feet. Sammy Jo Luxton, she had I'm pretty sure it was over 60 or 70 amateur Muay Thai fights. And I think the striking is where she's going to be able to take control of this fight. And Gemma, I don't see her grappling being that much of a threat in this one. So I'm going to go Sammy Joe Luxton to get this fight. I'll even... I want to lean decision, but you know what? I'll go finish for Sammy Joe Luxton, you know. Maybe the way she was looking at me. Now we got the fucking... We got the UFC 315 ad popping up. So this is a perfect time. If you haven't seen my full card predictions on UFC 315, make sure to check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. But back to this fight. We got Sammy Joe Luxton. She's sitting at the minus 120. And Gemma Auld sitting at the minus 120 as well. So we got an even line on this one. And I honestly think Sammy Joe Luxton would be the very solid play. I see her getting it done in this one. I'm going Sammy Joe Luxton to get the win here. Next fight of the night, we got Ewen Sheridan versus Malachi Edwards. And this is actually going to surprise a lot of you. I'm going Malachi Edwards, or Malichi. I think it's Malachi. I'm going Malachi Edwards to get the win here. Ewen Sheridan, yes, he's training out at SBG Island, so everybody's favoring him to win. But I'm not super impressed by Mr. Sheridan in this one. His striking doesn't impress me too well. Yes, in this fight, he's going to be trying to press it up against the cage and use some of his grappling. But in my opinion, Malachi Edwards is better on the feet. I think he's got better hands, and I think his positioning is better. And I only see him getting better from his last couple performances. Yes, he has not fought anybody impressive. His last fight, he beat a 1-2 Vincius Di Ramo, who is now 1-4, and he had a loss to 3-3 Dawid Panfil. But I will say he did just get caught in that fight. He ended up getting dropped and TKO'd. But in this fight, I think he's going to be able to use his striking and stop some of the takedowns of Sheridan in this one. So I'm going Malachi Edwards. I think he's going to be able to touch up Sheridan on the feet. Sheridan, I think he leaves his hands down a little bit too much, and he kind of just comes in kind of awkward. Sheridan, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. He beat 0-1 Joey Dockin and 1-0 Bryce Belghazi. But realistically, both of these guys are relatively unknown. But I do think Malachi Edwards is going to be able to get it done in this one. So I'm going Malachi Edwards to get this fight done by a decision. The odds on this, we got Malachi Edwards. He's sitting at the underdog, plus 140. Ewen Sheridan is sitting at the minus 180 favorite. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Malachi Edwards' striking is a little more impressive. Nothing really stood out to me with Sheridan. And I think Malachi Edwards is going to be able to get it done. Next fight of the night, we got Claudio Pacella versus Gavin Hughes. In this fight, Claudio Pacella, he throws bombs, all right? This guy, he's got heavy hands. He throws big looping overhand punches. He throws to kill his opponents, I would say. Then we got Gavin Hughes, not too impressive. In this fight, I see him trying to use his grappling because on the feet, Claudio Pacella is going to be able to absolutely annihilate him. But I don't see him being able to get this fight to the ground, and I see Pacella being able to absolutely tear him apart on the feet. I think Pacella is going to be able to get the finish in this one. I'm going Claudio Pacella to get the win by a KO. And his last fight, he beat Oscar Owensworth, and before that, he beat Mark Ewen, who's an up-and-coming fighter, and he was the big underdog going against Ewen, and he was able to get the win. He was cracking him with huge punches, big shots, but I think his power is going to be enough to put Gavin Hughes down in this one. So I'm going Claudio Pacella to get the win. The odds on this one, we got Pacella. He's sitting at the minus 350. Gavin Hughes sitting at the plus 225. And realistically, Gavin Hughes' only way to victory is if he can somehow grind out a decision win by holding Pacella on the ground. But I don't see Pacella getting held on the ground in this one. I think he's going to come out there and annihilate Gavin Hughes. I think he's going to be cracking him up bad on the feet. It's going to be, I would say, a domination for Claudio Pacella. Next fight of the night. Now we got Mark Ewen versus Alexander Chizov. In this one, Mark Ewen, he's got solid striking. He's a good kickboxer. He throws some fast combinations. He's got good striking. But I will say he does tend to lead. He stands very straight up and down. He keeps his chin up, I would say. He stands very tall. And then Alex Chizov, he's definitely more of a striker, I would say. He likes keeping the fights on the feet. And he's not bad at all. He's 10-3. Yes, he's coming off of 2 losses. against Duque and Daniel Scatizzi. And in my opinion, Alexander Chizov is not going to be able to get the win in this one. I'm going Mark Ewen to get the win, but I will say I think this fight is going to be closer than a lot of people think. Mark Ewen, I honestly see him. Yes, I know most of the time he's a striker, but in this fight, I see him taking Chizov down to the mat, and I see him using his wrestling in this one. Chizov, his only way to win is if he can somehow outstrike Mark Ewen. And I don't think Mark Ewen's going to be striking with him too much. I think Mark Ewen's going to get this fight to the ground and wrestle him. Alex Chizov, he tends to not look very good against wrestlers. He gets taken down, I would say, and dominated on the ground whenever he gets there. So I think Mark Ewen's going to be able to get this win. I'm going to go decision. I'm going decision. I know a lot of people on Topology, they're saying Ewen gets the KO. 63% of people think that. But I personally think Mark Ewen's going to win this fight by a decision. I think Chizov is pretty solid. I think he's got decent striking, and I don't see him fully getting slept. And I think Mark Ewen's just going to grind him out and win a decision. Mark Ewen, he's sitting at the minus 400 favorite. Alex Chizov is sitting at the plus 250. And yeah, Mark Ewen gets this win either way. Maybe it's a finish, maybe it's a decision, but I'm going to go the decision win for Mark Ewen. Next fight of the night, we got Hyder Khan versus Sean McCormac, and don't they got a spice named after McCormac? Maybe that's McCormack's. I don't even know. But Hyder Khan, come on, this one's an easy fight to pick. Hyder Khan gets this one done. Sean McCormac, 3-2, has fought Oban Elliott, who is his only decent fight that he's had. He lost a unanimous decision. And then in his last fight, he beat Enzo Tobia, who's 3-5. He doesn't have much experience. Hyder Khan, 9-1. He's coming off the win against Mustafa, where if you guys saw the clip, he hit him with a front kick and snapped his arm. But in this fight, I think Hyder Khan's just going to be too much for Sean McCormac. Sean McCormac, I don't think he's anything to worry about for Hyder Khan. Hyder Khan is going to come out there, and I would say he beats the hell out of Sean McCormac. Hyder Khan is probably going to put the pace on him early, try to connect with big shots in the first round. And I think he's going to go for a first-round finish. So I'm going to go Hyder Khan to get the win by a first-round TKO or KO. Sean McCormac, he might be a punching bag in there, and maybe he's able to go 3 rounds. But I'm going to say Sean McCormac gets absolutely dominated in this fight. I'm going Hyder Khan to get the win in the first round. Hyder Khan, he's sitting at the minus 390. Sean McCormac is sitting at the plus 245 underdog. And yeah, this one I feel like is a pretty easy call to make. Hyder Khan all day. Next fight of the night, we got Decky McAleenan versus Gino Van Steenis. Gino Van Steenis, he's got solid kickboxing. He's decent on the feet. Whereas Decky McAleenan is I know he's 9-5, so he doesn't look too impressive, and I wouldn't say he is impressive. Decky is not any bit impressive. He's got decent striking, I would say. He throws a decent straight left. Decky, he is a southpaw. He throws decent straight punches. He throws nice combos. He mixes it up pretty well. But in this fight, Gino Van Steenis, I think he's going to be able to get it done. At times, I would say Gino, he doesn't throw too much. He likes just throwing one shot at a time, maybe 2 punches. But when he does mix it up and throw combos, he does land and is pretty effective, I would say. He's coming off a win against Paulo Bananeda, who was 30-25. And then he also got a win over Hiram Rodriguez, who was 18-37. So slightly padded record, I would say. And then he got a win over Hugo Diux, who was 2-0. But again, in this fight, these guys are both relative new fighters. They're both unknowns. But in this one, I think Gino Van Steenis is going to be the bigger fighter. I think he's going to be the stronger fighter. And I see Gino being able to get this fight done. I could see him potentially finishing Decky, but you know what? Give me Steenis to get the finish in this one. I think he's going to be able to put the pace on McAleenan. How do you say that name? Declan McAleenan? McAleenan. I don't know. But Decky is sitting at the minus 125. Gino sitting at the minus 115. So we got another close line here. But I think Gino's going to be able to get it done. But you never know. I guess with these kind of unknown fighters, you kind of don't know. But from what I saw, I think Gino is going to be able to get it done against Decky. Decky, he's all right. He tends to drop his hands at times. Gino, I think he's going to be the more powerful striker in this. I think he's even better on the ground than Decky. So I'm going Gino to get the win here. Next fight of the night, we got Connor Hughes versus Sebastian DeFranco. Connor Hughes, very good kickboxer. I like his style. He throws decently heavy hands. He's likes counterpunching, and his grappling is pretty solid. He is coming off the loss against Jacob Kazubu, who was 13-0, and he got ground and pounded in that one. But Connor Hughes, I do like his style. He's got good striking. And Sebastian DeFranco, I would say he is in this fight. I don't think it's going to be any easy fight for Connor Hughes, but I do see Connor Hughes being able to beat DeFranco in this one. DeFranco, he's all right on the feet. He's got decent striking, but nothing too impressive about Mr. DeFranco, and I see Connor Hughes being able to get it done. Connor Hughes, I see him being able to put the pressure on DeFranco, touch him up on the feet. I think he's just going to be the all-around better fighter. DeFranco, I can see him trying to get this fight to the ground, but I'm gonna say he gets finished in this. I think Connor Hughes is going to be able to put the pace on Sebastian DeFranco. Connor Hughes, he throws very nice strikes, solid uppercuts, solid. He got a good straight punch, and I think he's going to be able to put the pace on DeFranco in this one. DeFranco is sitting at the plus 275 underdog, and Connor Hughes sitting at the minus 450. So Connor Hughes, he is a pretty big favorite, but I would say he's locked. He's a lock. All right, Connor Hughes is getting the win here. I think he can finish DeFranco in this one. I'm gonna say Connor Hughes. Give me. I'm gonna go third round finish for Connor Hughes. Next fight of the night, we got Louis McGrillen versus Alan Philpott. And in this fight, we got a fucking absolute salami can in Alan Philpott. 21-16 versus Louis McGrillen, up-and-coming fighter, hyped-up kid, and supposed to be very good. And if you guys haven't seen his fight with Dean Garnett, I suggest you go watch that. They were getting dropped left and right. Dean Garnett's going down after every punch that he gets hit with. But in this fight, Louis McGrillen, I think he's going to fucking piece up Alan Philpott. McGrillen throws a really nice overhand left. Very strong. He's got a lot of pop in his punches. And I see him finishing Alan Philpott pretty early in this one. I think he's going to be able to he's probably going to come out in the first 20 seconds and land something crazy. This kid, he's coming off of 2 knockout wins. And he impresses me. I like his style. I like his attitude. Alan Philpott, he's all right on the feet. He's got decent striking, but come on, he's not winning this fight. There's no shot. There's not even much that you need to talk about in this one. He's coming off a win against 13-9 Tomoya Hirakawa, but who the hell is that? All right, Alan Philpott is gonna get annihilated in this one. Give me Louis McGrillen to get this win by a KO. McGrillen is sitting at he's the biggest favorite on the whole card, sitting at a minus 1,000. And Alan Philpott is the plus 550 underdog. Philpott's getting killed. He's getting crushed in this fight. Next fight of the night, we got the main event, Paul Hughes versus Bruno Miranda. And I'll tell you guys right now, I'm going Paul Hughes to get the win. Paul Hughes, very, very good takedown defense. When you look at his fight with Nurmagomedov, he rarely got taken down, and even when he did get taken down, he was able to scramble and get up to his feet. His striking is very solid. He throws good combos. He's a good counter puncher. And Bruno Miranda, I would say he gets kind of reckless at times. In his last fight with Patrick Pitbull in the first round, we see it. He went super wild, and he ended up getting caught. But he ended up winning a split decision against Pitbull. But Bruno Miranda, he's He's got decent leg kicks. He does have pop, but in this fight, I think Paul Hughes is going to be able to connect with something. Bruno Miranda, I see him making a mistake, and Paul Hughes capitalizing and hitting him with a nice shot. And I see Paul Hughes being able to finish Bruno Miranda in this one. The odds are fucking crazy. Oh no, McLaughlin wasn't the biggest favorite actually. It's Paul Hughes at the minus 1300 versus Bruno Miranda is sitting at the plus 625. So the lines on the Cohen main event are absolutely ridiculous. But I do see both of the favorites getting it done. And especially in this fight, Paul Hughes, I think he's just going to be too much for Bruno Miranda. I think he's too technically skilled. I think he's too skillful. He's just better all around, I would say, than Bruno Miranda. His takedown defense is good. His striking is very high caliber, I would say. And I think Paul Hughes is going to be able to dominate Miranda in this one. And I'm going Paul Hughes to get the finish. So those are my predictions for PFL Belfast. And let me know what you guys think of my picks. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you agree. And if you want to check out my UFC 315 predictions, I'll leave a link down in the description. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.